how will streaming influence creative communities going forward?
Hmm. There's a lot of influence right now. I feel like streaming is a really hard thing to do and pick up in and get into a flow of. And a lot of people do it, I think, expecting something when really you have to expect absolutely nothing and appreciate everything that you get out of it. So like going forward, because of the pandemic, a lot of people were like, okay, I have some time on my hands. Now I can stream. Now I can watch more streams. So there was a lot of, I guess, more inventory out there, a lot more competition, I guess. And then as the pandemic eases out, there's going to be less people streaming and there's going to be less people watching, I feel like. Or there might be more people watching because they're just like, oh, I can just watch my friend do a video game or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm really not sure where that's going to go, but I feel like a lot of people are going to have tried it now and they're going to realize, oh, okay, it's not a get rich quick scheme or whatever. It's not a get famous quick scheme. It's actually a lot of work and it's really hard to keep people engaged for a long period of time, especially when you're just one person in front of a webcam or a group of people or whatever. And there's a lot of competition out there for people's attention, and a lot of what's going to happen, I feel like, is more people are just going to get discouraged and they're going to stop because they're not pulling in those big numbers, even though they're grinding every day and they're only getting 2 to 3 viewers or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's how like 90% of streamers are on. I feel like, well, they probably have 8 to 9 viewers now because it's pandemic, but before it was 2 to 3 viewers.
Yeah, it's difficult to just like you said, get in that flow and then keep up that flow when your numbers fluctuate, right?
Yeah,
Like it's a passion. You need to love it, and if you
yeah,
don't love it, then so be it. But also, I feel like this is great because if you have been at it before the big wave, and now you're trying to like stand out amongst everyone else, keep at it because when the waves start to pull back, you're still going to be there. And I
yeah.
think the quality of a person's stream who's been going through at it over and over and over again, it will stand out eventually. I personally don't think there's ever someone who works hard consistently that at some point won't get a return. And with streamers, it's the same way.
To an extent, I guess, because the talent also has to be there, and some people just aren't talented, unfortunately, and they either can't see that or they don't want to work at being talented because talent is it's not just something that happens, it's something that you work at and that you can use all the influences around you to develop. Uh, but you could definitely stream every day of your life for the rest of your life and still only get 2 to 3 people watching. You also have to market, you also have to do other things. You can't just rely on people clicking, I guess, the browse page and being like, oh, this is interesting, let's see what this is. Because if you're not interesting, or if you're not working at being interesting, you're not interesting, and people are just going to be like, okay, I'm going to see what else is on, right?
Absolutely. No, I fully agree with you. And that's something that people also need to realize is that like marketing is a big thing with the internet. Like yeah, it's accessible now and that's great, but it's a give and take. Now you have to be able to market yourself. You have to know exactly what is special about you, what sets you apart from others, and from there you will find success. But you
Yeah.
can't just hope that like oh
Yeah.
man, this crazy streamer is going to stumble upon my page even though I only have three viewers and they're going to blow me up and all
Yeah.
of a sudden people are going to love the integrity of my work. Like life
Yeah.
doesn't work like that. This isn't a
Doesn't work
movie.
like that.
It's never ever
No.
going to be like that.
No.
Especially now.
No. Now, yeah, that's funny. But yeah, everybody can be a streamer. That's cool. You can have your thing, your work documented or whatever, and I don't know if you're going to be really popular, but you're never going to be popular unless you try, right? And if that's your goal, being really popular, you should probably try doing something else before you do streaming, is a little advice, I guess. Everybody that I know who's really big or who pulls really big numbers streaming did something before they were streaming. Like they're really influential in the fighting game community, or they have a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers, or they have are a really famous artist within the community or whatever. And every time they stream, they are like, okay, I'm going to stream. Let's do this. And then the people turn in because they already like the personality, right? It's not just because, oh, you're on Twitch. Let's see that. But then you also get people on Twitch that are like, oh, what's going on over here? Because all these people are watching this. Yeah, it's really hard to do the grind.
Like I applaud anyone who can do it. My friend is a professional gamer and now he's a professional streamer, so he moved into that area and it's paid off really well for him. But not only is he super consistent, like he tells me like I need to work harder every single day because you have these young bucks that are coming up and they're putting in the 12, 14-hour streams, 24-hour streams, things that are so crazy, but they're trying to set themselves apart and it's not working. But they realize it will work if they have a YouTube channel where they're also doing skits or they're collaborating with other creators. Like you have to put in a lot of work in order to get anywhere, and a lot of people don't realize how much work it takes. That's why I truly do respect anyone who's streaming, because I know for a fact a controlled environment like this is a lot of work for me. And this doesn't really compare to streaming and being in character all the time and playing a game that you may not even love, you know, like, but you know that your fan base loves it and you're entertaining them. Or maybe you're editing videos or you're doing something to like give back to the community. Maybe you're just not feeling it today, but you have a schedule that you have to adhere to. It's so much work.
And then you start your stream and then an hour goes by and it turns out your mic was muted the whole time and people thought it was just part of the stream.
I feel like that has happened to you.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I thought it was part of it. No, it wasn't part of it. Damn it. You should have said something.
And they won't. They'll be like, oh, this is an interesting direction they're going in. I like this sort of new
polite.
content.
Pretty much.
She's just mouthing stuff. She's not actually saying anything.
Yeah. But yeah, I never started trying to be like, oh, and then I'll be really famous, because if I was really famous, then my parents would find out about my internet identity and I didn't want that. So it's just like, okay, just if my friends want to watch this, that's cool. And like for the longest time, I had like links to everything that I did online blocked from my family members and people that I didn't want to find out. And even like if you search my name, my real name, haha, nobody knows my real name on the internet, you get nothing about my art life, I guess you can call it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I keep it very separate. I have a separate Twitter, like all of those things.
Wow, that's so interesting. I'm doing that now. I didn't do that back in the day, but like my habits have changed with online stuff. Not that like I'm hiding anything, but it's just sometimes you want to keep your world separate, you know?
Okay. Sometimes you just want to scream at 3 a.m. about bar titties. Okay. Sometimes you just want to scream about that. You're just like, they're so good. I guess like my Instagram's tied to it now. Shitty. Oh man. My people at work follow my Instagram. I'm like, don't follow my Instagram. I guess you want to see all the stuff that I do. I don't know. I can't post pictures of my butt.
Yeah, I kind of miss that, you know, when Instagram was riding that wave and then all of a sudden, like, culture changed it. Like, you're ruining it for people like me, guys. Now there's no reason for me to be on Instagram anymore. I unfollowed like 400 accounts.
Right?
Yeah, no more butt. It's so sad.
Right? So sad. Not even like a full butt picture, just like, oh, it's kind of in there.
No cheekiness allowed. None at all.